Where do I learn all this stuff? I just pick it up from people. Different things. I don't reinvent the wheel. If someone sends me something and I like the way they did it, I'm going to try to figure out and say, is that the best way to do it? Do I like that? Is it going to be easy? Now, if you haven't figured out what this video is about, it's about how I pack and ship postcards. I did a video like a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I've changed up things over time. And how did I learn that? I learned it from stuff that I bought from other people, reading forums, went out and bought 100 postcards, as you saw in the Do Not Bend video. Things that make it better. So I'm not reinventing the wheel. I just incorporated it into my business and the way I do things I found. Some of the stuff I messed around with and figured out. But I'm going to go through, basically, first I'm going to go through all the sleeves that I carry. Then I'm going to go through the envelopes I use for all different things, the boxes, and then how do I ship bulk postcards when someone buys 1,000 postcards. Yeah, I do have another side of the business, stuff going out the back door. I just don't do a lot of videos on that, stuff like that. So there is a piece that I don't show that often and stuff, but I'll show you what I do when someone like buys 1,000 postcards from me. But with sleeves and stock and boxes, I don't carry a lot of different ones. I try to use the same thing for multiple things. And I get my sleeves basically from BCW, and they have all different sizes. And they're 2 mil. They come like 100 to a pack. I have something like 30,000 sleeves here right now. I carry them, and everything you see here, you should find a link in the video description. If not, let me know. I'll add it or tell you where I got it. But the Ko-Fi store that I have, I carry all different supplies. And I've been trying to add to it over time on miscellaneous stuff. Every time I put an order in for something, I'll try to add something different. We got loops out there to look at RPPC cards and stuff like that, little magnifying glasses, stands, different sleeves for different things. And if you want to try the EchoSwift envelope I'm going to show, I have a 10-pack out there that you can get for like $2.75 plus shipping, just to try them and see if you like them. But I'm going to go through sleeves here first. And sleeves are probably one of the best things to keep from scuffing and protecting the cards for these average cards I do, even the bigger ones. The first sleeve I found, I thought was pretty neat. I got in these little tobacco cards. So this is a little guy, and this is a regular postcard, and that's how big this is. It came in a pack of cigarettes, and they make them, and they make the cards for them. So this is the sleeve. I don't know if you can see it, and they fit right in there. So when I sell one of these, I just put that in the envelope like that. So it'll fit in there perfectly. So they make cigarette card sleeves, tobacco card sleeves. That was a pretty neat one to do. Next one is trading cards. As you've seen in the videos, I do a lot of different like trading card size things. I like trading cards. Babylon 5, Mars Attacks, Elvis Presley, Andy Griffith. I've sold them all. But they make a standard card sleeve that a card will fit into. So these are standard card sleeves. And I have those in the Ko-Fi store. The one you're going to probably use the most of is sleeves for your standard postcards. And what these are is 11/16 by 5 3/4 inch. That's the ones I use right there. And they come in a pack of 100. Now when you order these do get heavy. When I put like 5 or 6 of these in a box, as you'll see, they can be over a pound, so they will be heavy. Just like postcards, they do get heavy. But they come in a box of 100, and they're usually opened on one end, and then the sleeve, the card just slides right in here, and that's for your standard 3.5 by 5.5 inch card. And they're acid free, so they protect the cards. But standard postcard sleeves you can never have enough of. Next size postcard sleeve I carry is the Continental. Now Continental comes from the name because they started over in Europe. They've had Continental 6x4s over there forever, and that's kind of like where the name came from. I have a video on Continental postcards. I don't do a lot of them. I do a lot more Hawaii special ones. They just don't sell. They're coming into their own, but it's going to be a while. But they do sell, but I don't do a lot of them. They do fit in my box though. But Continental sleeves are 4 3/8 by 6 1/4, so they're a little bit bigger than postcards, so they slide in, and they come 100 to a pack. And I use them for like prints. Also these boat prints that Club made, they slide right in there. Your Continental sleeves, they should fit in there. Then you get into oddball stuff that I do. I do first day cover sleeves for the naval covers. They come in, they actually are called first day cover. Now this isn't BCW, I got these a while ago from a different company. It was during the lockdown. We had a hard time getting some of this stuff, so I bought a lot from different places. But the first day cover sleeves, they come 100 to a pack, and this is what they are. They're just basically an envelope from the ship, and they usually have the name of the ship and a cachet like stamp on it, and these fit right in there. And you'll see the envelope that I use to mail these in, because they don't fit into a standard size Echo Swift 6.5 by 4.5 envelope, so they don't fit. But this sleeves here, so I keep those because I have thousands of those ship covers. Next one is sometimes you get a postcard or a photo that you're selling that's just a little bit bigger than a Continental and just won't fit in the sleeve. So I carry some 5 by 7 photo sleeves. These are the 5 by 7 sleeves, and these are Ultra Pro. I got these during the lockdown too. I don't do a lot of them, so I only got a couple packs left of these, but there's 100 to a pack, and those will fit the oddball size. Like this card is bigger than a Continental, so it won't fit in a Continental sleeve, but it's smaller than a 5 by 7, but it'll fit in there. And this will accommodate a lot of photos too. Now this won't go in an Echo Swift envelope. It'll go into a 8 by 6 probably eBay envelope or something. But I don't do a lot of them. Now when someone buys a more expensive card, they buy a real photo postcard and it's worth more than $20 and stuff, I go a little extra mile with those types of cards. So I don't want them to bend, I want them to make sure to take care of them. And they make these semi-rigid holders. I like the ones that open on the side because you don't have to push the card down or anything. Just tap it in there. Now when you put them in there, when you put these, and this is one of the ones that open on the end. I prefer the other one, so I always put them in a sleeve first. They slide in easier and you won't scuff it, and you put it in there. And then you put them in the boxes. I'll show you in a minute what I do with these. But those are the semi-rigid. The real rigid ones, I try to stay with the semi-rigid, and it keeps the card pretty neat and people can pull it out and not afraid to bend it, especially if you got real brittle paper or something like that. So I carry those. I don't do a lot of those either, but I do keep just in case and stuff. And I do get them in when I buy lots of things. When I buy postcard lots, I'll get some of these. But I don't, if they're all yellow, they're nasty, they get thrown away. But if they're nice and clean and stuff, I'll reuse them. But those are the sleeves. And again, you can find everything in the video description. Most of it will be in my Ko-Fi store. Here's the link again for any of the sleeves. Now we're going to get into the envelopes I use. A lot of people ask me about the different envelopes and stuff, and they keep all these different. I don't do that. I wanted to get my stock down to there. And this video is all I lived. I didn't script this video. I just walked around and picked out everything that I have, and I'm doing a show and tell. So if there's any questions, make sure you put them in there and I'll answer them. A lot of people ask me, let's talk about labels. So with eBay standard envelope, the best thing to do is get like a Rollo printer or a Zebra printer that prints out thermal 6x4 labels. You can use flat roll, Diamond has them, but they're great. It's just print, peel, and stick. And that's what I use for everything, is a thermal printer label. Now when I do mail something, like in this envelope, someone buys a ship photo, that is not covered under eBay standard envelope, so I can't use the eBay standard label. I'll ship it with a stamp and a label. I'm not worried about it because I got nothing, hardly anything into these products, and I've never really had a problem. And for years we did that. We ship with a stamp and a label. So what I have is these little labels, and they're permanent labels that I print out. I have a twin Dymo down there. I just cut and paste the address from eBay, put it on a label. I'll put my return address up here, put the label here, and I'll just put a regular stamp. And these stamps are pretty cool. These are crypto stamps from the post. I'll buy a sheet of stamps and I'll just use a regular forever stamp on that and ship it out. I've really never had any problems. Sure, it affects your metric of tracking, but I sell enough stuff to offset it, and I'm not worried about top rated and stuff like that. I just want to make it cheap for the customer and make me competitive on there. A lot of people put thank you cards and all that other stuff in there thinking that's going to get them sales. Most of the time, my preference is no. I throw that garbage. I don't even look at it. Even in my regular junk mail I get from other companies, I don't look at all that stuff. Never have. I'm just not one to do it. I leave it up to the individual. What I do is I stamp. This is an example. I stamp the back of it. It says SMPostcards.com. Variety of collectible postcards is our slogan in our thing. 35,000 plus postcards to choose from. That number's a little low. Next time I need a stamp, but these stamps last for a long time. So I'm at 46,000 listings, and this says 35. That tells you how long this stamp is, and look how vibrant it is still. So I spend $20 on one of these stamps from Vistaprint, and it pays for itself. And then I have a little P.O. box. I put my return address on. I have a little stamp right here for that. So I just stamp it like that. This goes on the back, that goes on the front. Now if it's eBay standard envelope, it automatically has all that. So I don't do the thank you cards and all the garbage in there. It adds weight, number one. Two, does it really going to get you another sale? No one's been able to prove that to me yet. Now for the envelopes. The best envelope. This is the EchoSwift 6.5 by 4.5 rigid photo mailer. It's got a little bit of a gloss on it, so it is a little bit water repellent. It's not waterproof, little bit water resistant. It's not. If it stays in the rain for long, it's going to get wet. Anything will. But if you just splash a little bit of water on it, it's not going to there. It's got a self-sealing tab, so you don't need to lick it. And when you close these, you're not getting these open. So you're going to destroy the envelope to get it open. But 6.5 by 4.5, the label will fit on there. I stamp it on the back and everything like that. And standard and continentals will go in there. I can put 3 postcards with sleeves in this envelope for 1 ounce is what I can do. And this is the best envelope. I usually have 1,000 to 3,000 here. I'll have to order some next month. I'm coming down to my level that I reorder. And yeah, you can go out and buy 10,000 for the year, but you're tying up how much money for the whole year when let Amazon or eBay or whatever, let EchoSwift keep your inventory. Don't put your money out. Let them, I mean, nowadays, it's almost stock on demand. I can order sleeves today, and they're going to be at my house almost Thursday or early Friday. So I can get it in 2 days. So if you're good at your inventory and you're keeping track, at end of every month, I look around my stock real quick, and I have a little spreadsheet with numbers, and I just put them in there real quick, or I look and say, oh yeah, I need some of those boxes, or this, I'm getting low on here. I'll just put a note as I go through, and at the end of the month, I order everything for the next month. But I don't go out and buy 10,000 EchoSwift envelopes if I'm only selling 300, 200 cards a month. How long is that going to take you to use just to get a penny off? You're tying up your money. And remember what I said, you can buy yourself out of business. So if you don't have the cash flow coming in, and you're putting all that money out, you're going to be lopsided. You're sitting on that. Sure, you're going to use them, but you're spreading your money out just to save a penny. Raise your price a penny. And there, make sure when you buy this stuff that you're passing these costs on to your customers. I think these are 12 to 14 cents right now. They go up and down. You got to add that into the price. The stamp cost me $20. What's the cost of doing a stamp of 1,000 stamps? I don't know. But I kind of figure in the postage and everything into the cost of the card. And then if you buy your cards really good, you're winning. Next one is a weird card. I don't do a lot of these. These are, I call them panoramic cards. I don't know what people call them, long cards. I call them panoramic cards. They're longer than a regular postcard. This is a regular postcard. It's longer. And I always had a problem, and I found eBay has this envelope. It'll fit right in there. And these are usually about 8 inches or whatever. And it'll fit right in that envelope. Now, I usually, since this one, I could use 2 standard sleeves to cover that in the envelope. You just got to be a little creative on there. And these are 9.5 by 4.5 approximately thing. You can get them with your eBay coupon. But that's how I ship like ink blotters, stuff that's a little bit longer. Yeah, I'll put them in there. Now this envelope I don't see in eBay's store right now to buy, and I really like these envelopes. A lot of people do. These are like a 5 by 7 envelope, and what I use these for is this is where those covers go in. They don't fit in a EchoSwift, but it'll fit in here. Now the only problem that I've ran into, and it was my fault and I refunded the buyer, is when you put these things in your envelope, make sure they're all the way down before you close it, otherwise you'll bend it. And I accidentally bent one guy's envelope and it bent over and stuff. But that's what I use these for. A little bit longer than a standard card, I'll put them in one of these. These are really good envelopes to have. So those are all the postcard envelopes. So I can ship Continentals and stuff like that. And eBay does make a larger one, 8x6 of these, for the larger photos and stuff like that. A lot of people ask me about what do I do with 8x10 photos. Since I have a bunch of these 8x10s, I always bag and board, if I can, the 8x10s or photos and stuff, because I just want to preserve them, and it gets a little bit of water protection. These are resealable sleeves, 8x10 board. You can I'll catch them on sale and buy a bunch, and then I get the mailers that actually fit these, and they fit right in there, and they fold over. Perfect thing. I do not bend stickers. I don't care if they ask me to or whatever. I don't put all the fragile stickers. No one's going to bend this to put it in the mailbox. And that's a nice, solid, nice presentation. I don't sell a lot of them. I do charge for all the packing material. All of this is part of the thing. What if you get into bigger stuff, Mark? Like these things? These are magazine ads. I don't sell a lot of them, maybe because I'm a postcard store, but when I do sell them, I figured I put them on a little board. I don't ship them without that. I like doing boards and boxes. This little inventory tab here is a removable label, so I know when it sells, that's in my SKU number, and they're put in there. But this is one of those Life magazines, and these are Life magazine boards and sleeves. I know I wrote the size on here somewhere. This is a 15 by 14, 13 envelope that will fit those. And the Walmart boxes, you get the green boxes from Walmart and cut the sides, they fit right in here, and I can ship those whatever. And I put in them like 5, 6, 7 of these in one of these envelopes, but no one's going to bend that. It's like the Echo Swift is what it is, and it's really good, but I make sure I pass on that charge on there. So that's how I do those. They're nice presentation, ready to frame, everything's on there. So that's the envelope and sleeves I have. If you notice, I don't have a lot of everything. I have like 3 types of sleeves for postcards and covers, and I have the little trade cards and cigarette cards, so I have like 5 types of sleeves. I got the 8x10 and the bigger magazine ads covered, same box, same everything. Don't carry a lot of those because I don't sell a lot of them. If I was really high demand, then I would do more. And then we talked about the envelopes. The best envelope you can use for postcards are these, 6.5 by 4.5. There's a link down below. If you want to try them, you can follow the link to the Ko-Fi store, SMPostcards Ko-Fi store, and get 10 of them, 20. I had a guy the other day buy 80 of them. They wanted to try them and see what it is, and a lot of people have really liked these. I've never had go check my feedback. I don't have issues with these. If I sell a postcard, it goes in a sleeve, and it goes in one of these. That's it. No stickers or do not bend, none of that stuff. These will fit right in the slot. So that's the best envelope for postcards, Continental and Standard. We're going to get into people buy, so say someone buys a stack of cards like this. That just doesn't fit into an envelope, and they're going to end up paying first class or ground advantage and priority. God, I got to start saying that. Stuff like that. What do I do? Or anybody that pays ground advantage for priority gets a little special for me. Or if the card is over eBay standard envelope is where I drew my line now. And I did that video a while ago, and I wanted to update this because I used to wrap it in cardboard and stuff, but I've gotten away from that. And this makes it so much easier. So I got a bunch of stuff here I'll go through. So I'm going to show you the different boxes that I use. And I keep them on stock. I don't keep hundreds of them. I buy them in packs of 25 or 50, whatever the best price. This is probably the best box that I found. It fits Continentals and it fits Standard. The first box I bought, I tried to go to Standard, but then I started selling some Continental cards and they just didn't fit, or the things. This is a 751. So it's 7, 5, and then 1 inch. So I can put a pack of cards in there, and it's really nice. Then the next one is, this is a 752, so if I sell a little bit more, but I also use these when I sell stuff out of the Ko-Fi store for like sleeves. I can put like 4 packs of sleeves in here and they don't bend. So this is the same as this one, except it's a little thicker. I just messed stuff up here. These two are basically the same, except this one is 1 inch and this is 2 inch. So more card sleeves and stuff like that will go into there. Then you get into some thicker boxes. I use these mostly for sleeves, standard cards, or if someone buys 100 cards, they'll fit in here. This is a 742, but it's a little thicker. It's not 752. And these are the boxes. I went to the 752 because of the Continentals and things I sell. This is a 742, and I use these mostly for like sleeves and stuff I buy. And then what if they buy 8 packs of sleeves from me? These are great. Or if they buy 150 cards. This is a 744. So 7 4-inch, 4-inch. I can put a bunch of stuff in. These are heavier boxes. These will fit in anybody's mailbox and stuff like that. And there's links below for all of those. So now what if someone buys a bunch of postcards? It won't fit in EchoSwift. I sleeve each one of these. I do not put multiple cards in one sleeve. They just, sometimes I've had problems. Yeah, it's a 100-year flood, but I like to be able to. My goal is, you get a postcard you bought from me, you take it out and you put it right in your collection. You can't do that if you put 5, 10 cards in a sleeve or whatever, if they'll fit. So each one gets a separate sleeve. You're not going to save that much money. Sleeves are like less than a penny a piece if you buy them right. So that's not where you want to save. You want to have people come back. Collectors really like that. And then what I do is I put them in just a little Ziploc bag. These you can buy them. Industrial cases, you can get them cheap. There's no cost really. Put them in one of these bags. Now it's water resistant. It's waterproof. You close it just like a regular sandwich bag. I fold it up a little bit. And one time or another, from a buyout or something, I got these little poly bags. I got them from somewhere and I've got cases of them. I really like them. If I run out, I'll probably buy some more. They're just little bubble wrap mailers. Doesn't do a lot for protection, but you'll see here in a minute. Then I'll put them in that little protection, and then I'll just, you can seal this or put it over like that, and then I get one of these boxes I just showed you, and I put them in the box. What the bubble wrap does is keeps it from sliding, so they sit right in there. Then you close the box up, just like that, and you put one piece of tape along the side here, so they can open it. And there's no sliding. That's all that bubble wrap thing does, is keep it from bouncing around in there. I didn't want it to bounce around. Perfect 4 to 5 ounces. It'll go. A lot of people are having some problems with some of these envelopes with the post office because they put first class, but then they said it's a flat. Then you got to put a peanut or some bubble wrap inside to make it thicker. All that stuff. I didn't want to deal with that, so I went to boxes. Every Ground Advantage, I add 50 cents to the price and shipping. That's my handling cost. Every Priority gets 75 cents. Whenever I ship these, the box is paid for. And a little more to buy some more. I'm not worried about being, if they're going to pick on postcards, Ground Advantage or Priority, they want the card. They're going to pay. I don't get it that often, so I don't run out of these and stuff like that. And I don't lose on it, but that's how I pack those. I don't wrap it in a lot of cardboard and tape like that. It's just one piece of tape across there. They don't need a knife to get any of this open, so they can't cut the card. Those are all the boxes I use to ship postcards or sleeves or small stuff. And I keep them up on a shelf. They're easy access, and I got them pre-put together. Now, if I do sell something that's Priority, during the lockdown when we had a lot of problems and stuff like that, I like Priority. I just gives it a priority. People can see it. Well, I want to make sure those white boxes are not Priority boxes. I put one of these little labels. You can get these on USPS.com. They come in rolls of 500 or whatever. I'll put a couple of these on there so people can actually read real quick and see. Even though they see the big P on there, this gives it another thing that they know it goes into the Priority batch. And that seemed to help. I don't know, but it makes it a good presentation. Makes it better than just Ground Advantage or whatever. So we went over the sleeves. I went over to little boxes. I don't wrap in cardboard like I did in that video a year and a half ago. I changed up and stuff like that. Where do I learn all this stuff? I just pick it up from people. Different things. I don't reinvent the wheel. If someone sends me something and I like the way they did it, I'm going to try to figure out and say, is that the best way to do it? Do I like that? Is it going to be easy? So that's where I do it. A lot of stuff I just took from other people and getting there. And that goes into the next thing. I sell a lot of bulk boxes of postcards sometimes. I have a lot of postcards here. So a lot of them will call and say, hey, you got another box of postcards for me? Sure, I'll go through and give them random picks and stuff like that. And usually 1,000 is where 500 or 1,000 is when I do it. And you're probably saying, how do you do that? So what I do when someone buys 1,000 postcards, let's say, I weigh out 100 postcards. I don't count each one. I'm not worried about losing it. So I count out 100 postcards. I think it's about 14 ounces. And I put them on a scale and I make 10 stacks of random postcards that they wanted. And I wrap them up with shrink wrap. This shrink wrap, you can get this cheap at Lowe's, Amazon, or whatever. It's that sticky shrink wrap stuff. And I'll wrap them up and look at that. It's solid, waterproof. It's not going to get damaged at all. Someone sent me a box of postcards one time, and I had 10 packs of these, and I said, wow, this looks like a dealer from Colombia. But they were nice in a box, and I could pull them out, just pull the shrink wrap off. You can rip it, no knife or anything. Just a perfect thing. How many times have you bought a big box of postcards like this, and you open the box, and they're just all over the place inside. Some got bent on the corners and stuff like that. I can put 10 of these in a medium flat rate for $14, and this weighs 9.8 pounds, so basically 10 pounds in there. And I take a little bit heavier tape because it is heavy, but this thing is solid. Put a little bit of void fill in there, and it'll keep it there. And I put 10 of these in there, and they fit right. Standard size postcards fit right across. So you get 9 on one side, then you got to put one on this side and just put your void fill in, and you got 1,000 postcards. But that's the shrink wrap and wrap it up. I found 100 works better. I wouldn't do this probably for 10 cards or whatever, but in the bigger batches, that seemed to work well, and it's well received. Another thing I found, I pulled off the shelf. Remember, this isn't scripted. I'm just going through I just walked around the office and grabbed. You want to make sure your scale is calibrated on there when you do stuff. I picked up this little weight. It's a 1 ounce weight. And I'll recalibrate my scale every so often to the 1 ounce. So it comes in a little thing like this. I don't know, 10 bucks, 5 bucks. I forgot where I got it. But I'll recalibrate my scale once in a while to the 1 ounce. Because it does. They're electronic, things change, temperature, or just over years. I've had the same scale probably 6 to 7 years now, and it does fluctuate a little bit here and there, but I haven't trued it up lately, but I'll do it, because you put a 1 ounce, 2 ounce stuff on there, where before I was putting, 8 ounces to 3 pounds on it and stuff. So get one of those and just calibrate it every once in a while. That way you don't have the conversation at the post office. But shipping is not hard. Don't make it harder. All this stuff here is all I use. I have other boxes for things like, some things I will still pick up. I carry a 6x5 size, 8x6-4, 10x6, 12x10-8, and a 16x12-8. That's it. I don't do all these old boxes. They're all new boxes from eBay or wherever. But I don't reuse material. I want everything clean. Some people say, well, you need to reuse. That's not me. I saved enough environment stuff over my life. I want it easy. So when I go to get something, I have the box for it. If you don't, remember, if you can't afford to lose it, don't list it. If you don't have it in your hand, don't list it. And if you don't have a box or envelope to put it in, don't list it, is what I was told years ago. That's the packing update, how I pack and ship postcards update. Because I did one a long time ago and I've changed things up. But let me know what you do, because I'm always looking to learn what you do. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. But shipping shouldn't take that long. Every morning I come in and I ship my postcards, 20, 30, 10, 5, whatever it is. I look forward to that. A lot of people don't. And I'm saying, well, everything you do in eBay, everything you do with your listings, all that algorithm stuff, everything you're doing gets you to the point of shipping. I'm excited when I sell 60 items, 60 postcards or whatever. Some people just cringe, oh, that's a lot of work. No, that's the point you want to be at, because when you ship it, you get paid. When all the other stuff, listing and stuff like that, that's what you want to get to. Also, I ship Monday through Saturday. Put it in the mailbox. I'm retired. This is what I do. With a cup of coffee, I'll pack the postcards up and put it in the mailbox. There's no reason not to. Your competitors are. I would do it on Sunday if I could too. During the holiday seasons, a lot of times I'll put them in the mailbox in the morning, and then about 3 in the afternoon, if I have a good amount of cards, I'll run them over to the post office just to get them into the system, because I know they're competing with everything else in the delivery during the busy times. So I help myself out there instead of saying, well, I don't know if it's going to make it. It doesn't take me that long to ship a postcard because I got everything figured out. Now, if they buy bigger orders and stuff like that, a couple of months ago, I had an 80 card order. Yeah, it took me a while to pull all the cards, and I always verify, double verify. I don't use the bulk shipping thing because I want to verify that I sent the right card. I haven't sent the wrong card to a person that I don't even remember. I've done it, but I don't remember because I went to shipping each one individually. I'm not a big seller, and I'm not looking to be. So I just do it one at a time. And sometimes I start stuff, and then I'll go over and do something else and come back. But I try to get my cards out every morning, Monday through Saturday. And especially if I'm full-time, basically, if you want to say. There's no reason not to ship on Saturdays. To me, I don't know why I wouldn't do that, because my competitors are. And it gets it into the system, so I don't have to deal with the stuff like that. I get that extra day, because Sunday, they're still, even though they're not delivering mail, it's still going through the system. So I get that extra day. That's all I got on shipping packing. Put it in the comments what you do, or if you see something I can do better, or you like what I do. But check the video description, go to the Ko-Fi store, look for prices, and use those companies to hold your inventory, your stock to ship on. Amazon, you can get stuff in a day sometimes, or 2 days, and if they ain't got it, I got it. So you can find it. And you want to have a little extra. You don't want to wait till you get down to your last 10 envelopes and order them from AcroSwift. They too take a little bit longer. It's been taking about 2 weeks to get my 1,000, 3,000 envelopes. So you just want to be prepared. So I order those when I get down to like 1,500 or whatever, knowing I'll have the stock in my storage room, just to have those. And I do have a backup stock of other envelopes that I can use in case those are not available. During the lockdown, we couldn't get them. And here's some fish.